Prefrontal cortex is the most advanced part of the neocortex in the human. It's responsible for the ability to think about the future, to generate plans, imagination. Basically, neuroscientists think of it as a place where we generate internal representations of the world and we use them to guide future behavior. It's a place where decision making happens. It's a place where imagination happens. Now, what happens in the adolescent or the child from 10 to 15 years? It kind of reflects what we think of as the maturation of the brain in general. So the first areas of the brain to become fully developed, they're called myelinated. They have a myelin sheath around them. The neurons are able to talk to each other and do accurate computations. Those areas are first matured they're called the primary sensory areas of the brain, like the ability to see and vision and touch and hearing. The last area of the brain to develop and completely maturate, become quote unquote online, is the prefrontal cortex, and that happens in women in their early 20s and men typically in their mid-20s. So the point at which that transition between children, teenagers, and adult represents that maturation. So what happens, particularly with teenagers and older children, is that they have areas of the brain that are well developed, that are involved in reward seeking, mediated by the nucleus accumbens and other components of the dopamine pathway that is responsible for reward seeking. However, those reward-seeking behaviors are not mediated by a higher order functioning in prefrontal cortex. So they will seek to make decisions to gratify those pleasures on a short-term basis. They're people with more fragile prefrontal cortices, be it from accidents or from certain psychiatric diseases like schizophrenia. They're very, it's called stimulus locked. So they're only able to conceive of and provide plans for future states based on stimuli that's in their current environment. So say a teenager goes to the mall and intends to, go see a movie. That's a plan. They go to the mall, they get in the car, and they end up buying an iPod instead because it was in front of them. So we call that being stimulus locked. They're not guided by internal representations of the world, mediated by prefrontal cortex. Rather, they're guided by external representations, stimuli in their environment.